I came across this dress and I thought it was absolutely gorgeous, like super cute, and I decided to get one for myself. Tell me why I clicked the link and this was what I saw. $237? For who? Where? How? And I decided to check how much that was in Naira. And you're telling me I have to pay 394k for a dress. Anyway, I recreated this dress and this is what mine looks like. I think it's the same thing. So if you want to make one for yourself, stick around. Let me show you how to get that done. So the first thing I'm doing here is putting down my zip allowance. I'm going to use the same pattern to cut out my back and also cut out my front. So I'm just going to start with my zip allowance and I'm using 1/2 inch. Now I'm going to get my starting line. From this line, I'll mark out my chest line, my bust line, and the length of my dress. I'll be using 35 inches plus 1 inch for hemming allowance. And I'll just put the same figures on this other side and I'll connect. On my starting line, which is also my shoulder line, I'm going to impute half of my shoulder measurement and I'll put the same figure on the chest line. For my neck width, I'm going to be using 4 inches and the neck depth, I'll use 3 inches. So I'm going to connect these points together. I'm going to come down on this point by 1 inch to create my shoulder slope. On my chest line, I'll impute my bust circumference and I'll add 1/2 inch for ease and my sewing allowance. On the length of my dress, I'm going to be using 18 inches and I'll add my sewing allowance. So I'm just going to connect these points together. Now to create my arm curve, I'll find my center point and come in by 1/2 inch. Now on the shoulder here, I'm going to come in by 1.2 inches because looking at the original design, I can see that the sleeve is not at the extreme end of the shoulder. So I'm just going to connect this to 1 inch above my bust line. Now that that is done, I'll mark 1 inch for the neck depth for the back of my dress. Okay, so before I cut this out, I'm just going to come to the bottom of my dress here and go up by 2 inches. And I'm going to connect it back into that same line. And afterwards, I'll take 1 inch for my hemming allowance. Now I'm going to cut this out and take it to my fabric to cut just the back of my dress. Afterwards, I'll bring it back and I'm going to draft the front pattern. I'm going to go ahead and cut out 2 of this, and it's not going to be on fold because I intend on adding a zipper to the back of my dress. But if you don't want to add any zip to yours, you can go ahead and cut it on a fold. After cutting out my back pattern on my fabric, I'm just going to take out the zip allowance and I'll also be readjusting the neckline. To create the circle in front of the dress, I'll go down from my neckline by 2 inches and I'm going to connect that to the chest line. I'll go in by 2.2 and create my circle. The next thing I'm going to do is create slash lines. Now I'll cut out my circle and I'll slash through these lines. I'll also slash the bust line to create room for my bust in the dress. The next thing I'm going to do is spread my pieces. For this bust one, I'm only going to spread with 1 inch. But the other pieces, I will be spreading them 2 inches apart. The next thing I'll do is cut out my front pattern on my fabric. I'm going to create an opening in the center front here. It's not up to, it won't be up to 2 inches, probably 1.5 inch opening. So this is what the front piece looks like. The first thing I'll do is join my back piece to my front piece on the shoulder. And afterwards, I'm going to bias the neckline and the armhole. Okay, so this is what it looks like afterwards. I have my hole in front here for my rope, and I've joined the front piece and the back piece together on the shoulder. So the next thing I'm going to do is close up my side seam, and I'll be doing this on 1/2 inch. And afterwards, I'm also going to be inserting my zip at the back of my dress, and then I'll fold in my hem. So the next thing I'm going to do is cut out the rope that I'll use for the front of my dress, and I'm technically eyeballing this. I didn't take the measurement, but you can use about 40 to 45 inches and it will still come out looking good. So the final thing I'm doing is inserting my rope with a bobby pin into my dress. This is what mine came out looking like, and I'm seriously obsessed with this dress. I could wear it every day. My friend's birthday is coming up very soon, and I'm thinking of making one for her, and then I'll just tell her that I bought it 300k. I don't think she's going to believe me anyway. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and also leave your comments down below. See you next time.